All right, welcome in, S Squad. Welcome to Drawing with Mr. Sepulveda. Last time I streamed was a few weeks ago, and I ended up starting the coloring phase of this Metal Samurai. It's supposed to be a Metal Samurai superhero of sorts. In the stream, we kind of talked about some of the colors and some of the colors that we could use to kind of create this character. I was using some references last time, so these are the references that I was pulling from and trying to keep some of these more muted blues and some reds, and my as I was streaming, I got suggestions to use gold instead of silver, but I'm still kind of wondering if I should add a little bit of silver to it. We'll kind of figure it out as we go. King Bob, thank you. I'm glad you're doing great. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to kind of continue where we left off with this rendering process. I'm going to just shut off my reference layer for this one. And just kind of finish up the blue sections that I was doing. I may be rendering it differently because part of it's just because I did it such a while ago that I don't remember what I was doing when I was doing it, like how I approached it. So if it's a little bit different and things come out a little bit not matching up with what I've got, things will still be all right. So we'll kind of just go with it. So I'm just going to start my color pickings. I'm going to start off with the shadows, and we're going to tackle both of these arms at the same time. I believe last time I did this, it was just me tackling one leg at a time, and then I went towards the neck. But I'm going to do both arms at the same time for this one. But hopefully you guys are enjoying your weekend. I'm going to probably stay on for about, give or take, 2 hours. I know I need to be out by 2 p.m., but other than that, it'll be pretty good. King Bob, I'm doing great. It's a good Saturday. Get to chill, get to relax a bit, get to do an art stream, which is a lot of fun. It's one of my goals this year is to do a little bit more streaming. Hoping to build up our following, because my goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers. Right now we're a little bit over 630 and change, I believe. I don't know the exact number, but I have to double check it. So I'm hoping to get somewhere up there. I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's a cool goal. I didn't have the goal originally when we started this channel because I didn't think I'd ever make it past 100. So I think that's pretty good. So there you go. That's how I'm doing. Just putting in some shading over here, because I'm assuming the light might catch into this arm. Most of the arm looks like it's covered up by this shoulder piece. So I'm going to kind of just stick with that. And I'm going to kind of go to this arm right now. And I think there's a benefit to like sectioning things off as you work. So this way I'm not feeling like overwhelmed by the whole piece. I'm just kind of doing sections at a time. And apologize for my zooming in and zooming out if it bothers a lot. I know during my time-lapse videos it just kind of pops in and out a lot. So I always feel like, try not to cause a seizure or anything, or maybe I should just put a warning on my videos when I do it, but it's not my intent. I just can't see really closely. So I have to make this bigger. It's probably part of the reason why I ended up with this bigger monitor to begin with. Alright, so since I got the shading in for like the first layer shading, I'm going to just go ahead and grab my next color, which is this purple, on my second shading layer. And this is where all my deeper shadows are going to end up going. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. For me, I really am not where I feel like I should be, or where I want to be rather, as an artist. But I just did a video, so I ended up turning FNAF characters into dragons. And that one doesn't get released until October. I'm just ahead of my videos and I'm just scheduling them out. But I did a Toy Freddy where I was rendering it, and I fell in love with the way that I was rendering that character, and I was like, oh man, I feel like I'm finally catching up to where I want to be as an artist. Like, I wish I could draw every day, but being a teacher, I don't usually get that luxury, and obviously, being a husband and someone taking care of, like the house and things like that, or the dogs, certain things kind of get in the way, but when I do get a chance to draw, I do try to improve myself. FNAF, yeah, I think FNAF is pretty cool. So yeah, I think that video will be all right. Some of the art, and I'm always really honest whenever I'm doing my art, whether I don't like what I did or whether I love what I did. I love my last one. I love my Toy Freddy one. I wasn't too keen on the other ones, but that'll come out sometime in October. So really excited about that. But yeah. Do you have any weekend plans? Anything going on? Anything major for you? I think that arm looks alright. I'll come into this one now. Because I don't really have plans. I just got this. I've got my art classes that I teach on Sundays on OutSchool. And then Monday is just going to be a capped work day for teachers, so don't really have much going on my end. But I am glad that I got to make time for this. So let's see, I think I kind of like it like that. I think this should maybe curve into this arm. Let's see. I think that's looking all right. I'm not too bummed out by the way those arms look, so I think I can keep going into our lighting phase. And I think when I did it last time, I ended up using my select tool, so I'm going to end up lassoing here. So we're going to see where some of this light could potentially hit. So let's just say it's around here. There we go. Maybe a weird shape. I like these other two on the bottom. I don't know how I feel about that bicep one, so I think I'll just remove it and start it again. Let's see, because I know there's going to be lighting on the sword that's going to be forming. I think we stretched it out last time. I think we did, or we talked about it. I can't remember, but I feel like the sword still needs to be a little bit bigger. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to just paste that in. I'm going to grab a lighter blue on my airbrush. We'll just kind of hit up the center just a bit. And I think I remember doing this last time because I didn't do it in the FNAF one, but I'm going to end up doing the smudging with this finger just to kind of give it a little bit of something in here. Just to kind of move the color. There we go. And I think last time I used a blending tool. And I found a different way that I like to use now, which involves using the blur tool. So I started liking that blur tool a little bit. So I think I'm gonna actually incorporate that in here. I don't remember if I did in the other one, so we'll see. You have to go? Hey, no worries. You take care of yourself. Let's see, I'm gonna just blur the edges a little bit. This might be a little bit too punchy, which is alright. I'll kind of soft erase a little bit. Not trying to use too much pressure on it. I think it's kind of looking alright. And I think this is kind of where I guess I could go back into that blending tool. Kind of smudge them up. Hit that up with that airbrush one more time, but like really delicately. And then re-blend it, but from the center out. Alright, I think that's looking alright. I don't think that's too bad. I don't think it's too rough. But it's definitely not what I had last time, so I'm really curious what I did last time. So let's see. Maybe I will use the blur. Maybe I will blur it out. Yeah, because I think that kind of removes some of that harshness. So let's kind of do that. And then I normally use this white. I know I've been doing this white outline for a little bit, so we'll kind of do that. And I think the light's coming more on this side. So put a little bit of white here. Do a little white on this edge. Maybe even on that edge, I don't know. Maybe just the one edge. And then we'll kind of put it off over here as well. I'm trying to use light pressure on it because I don't want to overdo it. So let's see, we're going to go in there and we'll try to blur some of this. You know what? Let's blend it. Let's blend it because then I can kind of just delicately remove parts of it. There we go. Yeah, because the blur would just take off too much. But I think that's it on the blue side, which is pretty good. I'll move into some of the other sections of this. I'm thinking I'm going to go for like that belt or that sash that I've got on him. I'll hit up the hair next, and then we'll tackle other areas like the boots, and then we're going to have to really determine whether or not, you know, do we want the silver for like those areas by his wrists, or do we want like a silver up top in the shoulders, because I think there's too much gold up top. And I know I was messing around with that one last time, so we'll kind of see what we got going. Let's see, where's my palette? Palette. I know I would have labeled it. There you are. Okay, so I'm going to move the palette a little bit lower, and we're going to zoom in over here. Let's go. Oh, whoops. I don't know what I did there. Okay, that's what I did. Gotcha. I was pressing the wrong buttons on my side. I was trying to figure it out. Here we go. Put in some shading here. And most of the time I just kind of put it where in the world I feel like it, or where I feel like it goes. But we'll kind of check it out. We'll kind of see if we like where some of the stuff is. Let's kind of do one of these, because I know the lights on that side are supposed to be on that side, and I'm only judging that on where I had the white lines forming from the last stream, because I really don't remember again. It's been a few weeks, but we'll kind of see what that looks like. Just gonna add in another one over here. Maybe do some of that. And I know this whole bottom part is going to be covered up, because I kind of like turned the entire sash around itself. Okay, so that's kind of what I got on this side. I'm thinking this area might not be in shadow. It may be, but I might lighten it up. Let's see. I'm starting to feel like my calibration's a little off, but I think we'll be all right. Let's see. Is this my hard eraser? There we go. Kind of erase this a little bit. But yeah, I've been enjoying this. This character is going to end up being used for my S-Verse Chronicles. So it started off as just a randomized superhero drawing, kind of like what I used to do. But he's definitely going to show up, because I've planned him out for one of the stories. So I'm going to definitely utilize him. I think last time his name was Metalaico or Metallics. But I ended up changing his name. I guess you can kind of see it, but I named him Metal Samurai. So we'll kind of see. I'm going to make him Japanese descent. We'll give him a pretty cool name, I think. And we'll kind of roll with him. I think he's going to be a pretty cool character. I've already got planned that he's going to be on the quote-unquote good side, so he'll be working with Tsukisane. But I think he's one of those characters that just looks like he could be a villain, and maybe that's part of his trouble, that people will consider him to be a villain when he's not. So we'll kind of mess around with that in the stories. And I might even play around with like, well, one of the scripts is done already for the episode before he gets introduced, and that one has some voices like dialogue. So I thought maybe doing some more dialogue episodes. So we'll kind of play with that as we progress. So let's see. I think that's too dark. Or maybe if I leave it near the top and towards the back end, then it'll look alright. You know what? There's probably no color in that corner. I was trying to fix a little spot. It was probably because that color doesn't exist. There we go. Yeah, it's a bad habit, I think, zooming in so much, but for me, it gives me confidence that I'm like closing up some gaps and I'm not leaving anything opened up or on the edges or anything like that. So I keep doing it, so I keep zooming. Let's see, do one of these guys over here. But I think we're moving along pretty quickly, which is good. I want him to be a pretty cool character, so I'm hoping he'll become like a quote-unquote fan favorite by the end of it. I don't know what to do with the insignia, the symbol on his belt, but we'll kind of figure that out as well as we go. I think I might render this one a little bit differently, but we'll try it out first with the way that I was doing the other ones, and then we'll kind of go from there. But one of the things that I've been liking to do, or like I've tried out, is just kind of putting it in spots. It's like taking over big sections like this, and just testing it out, see if I like it more or if I like it at all. So we'll kind of do that. We'll move them up a little bit. And we'll go a little higher. There we go. We'll smooth this one out. After we stretch out some of this color. Let's go. And then I think I'll start blurring out parts of it, but after I close it. So I'm wondering if I need to change my colors now for because I don't think the blue color is going to be too good on this. I'm looking at it right now. unify soft erase maybe, and then maybe go back into my blend. This might look alright, because it's not, it just provides a little bit of extra like something to contrast, because when I look at it from far away it's kind of I don't know what I'm going to do in this spot here, but I might change my colors on the palette for this one, so I might end up creating a secondary palette. Let's do this. Let's clear that off because it wasn't working. Go to our palette. Let's change some colors up. So this is the color I'm working with, but I kind of like the idea of, let's use a red. Let's try this out. Let's kind of get them towards pinkish. And something a little bit more muted maybe. I don't know. We're going to play around. So let's say we're doing this one. Let's see, I'm gonna carve that off. Put him in, and we'll do one over here. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of treat it like rim lighting, and if I treat it like rim lighting, I think it'll be alright. So, I use the lighter one for this part of the shade. Oops, I didn't mean for the shade. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to be on the glow. There we go. Not sure if I feel that one. Do I like that one better, or do I like this one? Kind of like this one. This one's kind of subtle. But it doesn't mean we can't mix in some of this other stuff in here. So let's kind of treat this like only the top has, or the far right side has some lighting. So we'll kind of see if that works out. Who knows? Because I don't know what it'd look like if I push this guy in here. So kind of blur it. And then I'll use this blur again, but this time it's going to look a little bit different. Kind of really wrap it around this outside. There we go. Just tracing over it, the outside twice, just to keep the sharp edges away. Which is funny because he's a metal hero, so he's got nothing but edges. Let's see if we like that. Use the soft eraser on it. I don't know if I'm feeling that at all either. I don't think the reds are working. Let's kind of go back. So let's treat it like it's just regular old rim lighting, I think. I think that might just be the best way to do it. Yeah, I think this would be better. It's not what I had planned for it. It just wasn't working out the way that I wanted, which is alright. It happens. If I can figure out another way to do it, I'll do my best to kind of fix that up. But for right now, and I know rim lighting's supposed to be outside, but I don't think it's that bad at doing it like this either. So we'll just kind of put some lights where we feel like it. He says I have to follow like a regular generic way of doing it. I think it's more my style anyways. So let's see, we'll do that. I don't know if I want to, well, maybe. Depends on the fabric, right? Like, depending on those folds coming in and out. That one right there. I'm thinking it's looking alright. So I think this is kind of cool. Although I do want to still soften it up. Because this is not going to be a really reflective... You know, it's not a really reflective material. It's not the metal. So we'll kind of go through this. Yeah, kind of treat it like that. I don't think this side will get a lot of light. So what I might do is brush this part really softly. Start erasing off of it. But doing like that kind of gives it a little bit of something. So I think that'll have to do. And if I want to do it around here, then I might check this out just to see if it works. I don't think it does, so I'll just kind of get rid of the airbrush. We'll leave it like that. Because again, I think it gives it a little something, but it's not like too much, you know? Alright, so we've got that. We're going to go into the hair. So let's move that palette up so we can kind of remain as consistent as possible. And I'm liking his face, and I'm scared to like render out his face because I want to try something new with the way that I do it. But first, we've got to go ahead and darken up his hair. Oop, that's the palette. There we go. Yeah, okay, so I'm thinking I might use just the regular selection lasso, just so I can see if I can get some, I don't know, just the effect of moving the hair back. Because it's supposed to be really tight back here. Let's see, I don't know if this will work. But maybe it will. Only one way to find out. The only bad thing that could happen is it doesn't work, and then I'll just have to do it the way I normally do it. But I am trying to push it. I am trying to push myself. There we go. I think I gotta fix this one up, so let's delete this stuff and we'll fix it back. Let's see. I think we're looking good. It's not too bad. I haven't actually put it in here, but in my mind I've got like everything moving backwards towards the character's top knot, right? And so I'm just kind of trying to see if I could push all this that way. I think this area is going to be completely encased, so I'm going to do it like that. There we go. Let's see. I can't see with this thing in the way, so I might just have to guesstimate where the stuff is. Whoops. There we go. Didn't mean to lose that. And for anyone wondering, this is Clip Studio Paint. That's what I use to make my artwork. Let's see. Alright, so if I do one of these, stretch that out a little bit just in case to the, well, not have to stretch out to the edges, I think it'll be alright. Kind of gives the illusion that the hair is being pushed back. I think. I think. Let's see. Just kind of go over part of this with my pen. See if we can make it look a little bit better. Again, just trying out something different for rendering the hair. There we go. Because again, it doesn't have to look perfect because hair's not like that perfect. But we should be alright. Let's see. Because I think this should be curved up a little bit more. There we go, and then I think this side should just be all encased. So we'll do one of those. I think the hair's looking alright at this very moment. I am noticing that there's a gap here because I probably didn't put my flats in there all the way. So there we go. So the next color is this purple color. Let's see what we can do with this shading just to really like push it a little bit further back. So let's kind of see what we can do with that. Or, what I'm noticing, and I don't know how I missed it, but the gaps up top. So let me fill in some of these gaps up top. I think this will be easier if I use this guy. Yeah, because it looks like I got the wrong color. Oh, it's because I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. Digital art dilemma, or digital art problems. Know what layer you're on. Alright. There we go. I think that's pretty good. There we go. Now we can go back. Let's see. Do I want to use this guy as well? I think I'll use this guy. I started back here. Just gotta figure out where the darkest strands of hair would be, I guess. Let's see. Let's do this again. Let's see where we go with this. And then gonna figure it out this way. That's pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about it, but from a distance, it's not too bad. Because again, we won't be like zoomed in all the way when we look at this piece, but it doesn't hurt. Take a step back sometimes when you look at your art, just to kind of see what looks right, what doesn't look right. So I got the little navigation dude down here, a little navigator, because that's the one that's kind of helping me out a little bit. Let's see. do feel like there should be more of this darker strands back here. Oh. There we go. Slightly darker. I don't think this was a bad color combo either for the shading. But I think when I get up here, I feel like some of it's going to become lighter. It should be darker near the top, not for sure, but when I get to the right hand side of his hair, I think it's supposed to just lighten up. And I'm thinking that just because the light is supposedly on that side. Just gonna kind of make this up. Right here, just making up this shape. And I do think I need to bring that other side down, but before I, well actually let's not wait because I'm going to forget later. So let's see, I need to go back in and redo this part. I need to extend it. There we go. Okay, thinking that's good. We're getting pretty good. I definitely wanted to have a little bit more texture, a little bit more tooth to it than how I normally do hair. Let's see, what is that, a light? Yeah, it's a soft eraser. I need a hard eraser. So let's do that. It's the wrong color, isn't it? Yep. There we go. There we go. We're looking pretty alright. Okay. And then I think what I'm going to do is just kind of come back with the pen. Just kind of scribble in some strands. Just to kind of cover up some stuff. Make it look less sharp. Because I don't want it to look too sharp. So I'm just kind of bringing my brush back and forth as I follow the contours of what I put down. And so this might help out, it might aid out in making it a little bit more organic looking. Because I don't want it to look too geometric, too patterned out, too repetitive. So I'm just going to do it like that and maybe just kind of fan it out a little bit more as I go. There we go. I think it's looking pretty good. Just lifting up my pen every so often. So I feel like this look a little bit better. There we go. That's looking pretty good. And I'm gonna have to do the same thing, go in the opposite direction from the bottom or the front of the face. And just kind of pushing it up. Just kind of follow that a little bit. And for any of these bigger areas, I'll just kind of use this lasso tool to fill in any of the gaps. But what I might do is I might just start turning them just to make it a little easier. It's kind of like how you would do it with paper. There we go. color this one in. I know it's not on, I know it's on the light side with that part of the hair, but I think by shading it in, it still gives them a little bit more depth to push them out. Not to cover up and shade in that ear on that side, so it should push it back, hopefully. Or give it the illusion that's pushed back. Let's see. I'm just changing the angle of my pen as I hold it as I do this, just to see if it'll give me something a little bit different. Okay. I think that's alright. If I turn them sideways. Should regularly flip your canvas anyways, just because, you know, need to be able to see it. But just to see if there's any errors in it, which I'm sure I've got several, but we'll gotta see it. I think that'll look pretty alright. I think. Won't really know until I pull this zoomed picture back a little bit more. Okay, so I think the hair's looking alright, cool. So I'm not too worried about it now. Although I do feel like I have too much on this other side. So let's see. If I just kind of erase. Let's kind of erase part of this. Let's see. Keep doing it like this. We'll just make it shorter. And hopefully it kind of cleans it up a little bit. Let's see. If I shorten it like that, I think we should be alright. Cool. And then if anything, I'll just use this pen to kind of fix up some of those areas. Because I'm not trying to, again, keep it too uniform. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Maybe that's too much. Yeah, I pushed it up too much, so we're gonna bring this down. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'll be alright. Okay, so we're going to go into putting in some of these highlights, which is pretty much a lot of the same repetitive things. It's just that I'm going to end up doing it using the selection tool instead of the lasso. So we'll just kind of see. So we'll just kind of put in a shape. Just put in these shapes over here. It's almost like what an anime character would have near the top of their head. I'm not doing it exactly like that, but it's close enough, right? Similar. Because not every piece of your hair will shine when in the light, right? Because of all the layers. Alright, so put this in here. Do the same thing we did last time with the airbrush. We'll just kind of put some up towards the middles, towards the centers of these. Then we'll kind of go a little bit further up. I'm thinking, you know what, just because I just kind of accidentally did something that I actually liked, I think I'm going to just put some of these on the edges. So I'm going to just put some of these near the tips of all these little spikes that I made. And then this is, I think, is where like that fingertip back and forth thing was working pretty well last time. And it's okay if I don't put them all in here. Like if I don't keep it all 100% all inside of this shape. So let's mess around with this. Let's see what we can get. Hopefully it'll be something pretty interesting. Pretty nice. So push that back, push it forward. Okay, let's see. Because we got to remember it's layered anyways. So some of the hair underneath will show just underneath all the hair that'll light up. So let's see if we can figure this out. Or to see if my ability is where I need it to be for this one. Still a lot of things I have to learn. There we go. It's looking better there. And I don't know if I'll blur it or not, but we'll kind of see where we're up to before I decide that. And if I do decide to blur it, I might have to blur out some of the other areas as well. Because right now that's his hair. So I'm thinking, do I go for the blend? Because blend will like line it up a bit. That's not terrible. Just kind of go one more above blend, and then let's see what the blur will look like. I think I'm kind of liking the blur more than the blend. I don't know what your opinions are, but it's kind of what I got here that I'm thinking is pretty interesting. Yeah. I think I might stick with this, but I'll definitely have to soft erase part of it so it's not uberly bright, right? Because we don't want to see it be too bright. At least that's not what I want. Because as reflective as hair is, I don't think it should be that reflective. We'll see. I think from here it looks better. From like a distance, it's looking exactly what we need it to be. So I'm okay with it. So the hair is definitely getting the treatment it needs. The question is, do I put in some of the whites? And I'm thinking the answer is no. Let's go with no. Alright. Time for this top knot area. Let's see. Alright, and then we'll kind of go for like little strands. Leave these strands in between. Should kind of let it give it some character. almost like the way that I would render out a tree branch is kind of the way I'm approaching this, minus all the swirls in the hair. Okay. And then I'm thinking we'll go darker in this area. Darker in these areas. And the hair from behind. And I think that's looking good. I'll pop back over here into this top knot fabric. There we go. Darkening it up. We're going faster now. I think I'm picking up on the pace. Usually when I get into a groove, I can really focus in on it. Let's see. There we go. There we go. I think we're looking good. Okay. And then, of course, just the little highlighty things. Although I don't even think it needs any, but just in case. Alright, let's see. Can we just skip a phase here? And just blur it. Yeah, I think just blurring it over here is probably the best thing. There we go. And if we need to lighten it, because we want it to be too bright. And that should do it. Good. Okay. So we got the hair. I think we might as well move into the face. So the face and the mask. So let's move there for right now. So let's kind of see where this goes. So the mask, I want it to kind of feel like plastic. But I don't know if I'll get that feeling or not. Like if I can get that mood. I think the nose could have probably been drawn a little bit better. I'm looking at it, I'm not liking the nose. I don't think it's too late to fix it. Let's see. I'll come back to it. I just want to see what I can do over here first. Let's see. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. There we go. Adding some shading here to the teeth. There we go. Make it kind of, not wooden, But put some lines in it. See what it does for him. See if we like it. Okay, so I'm liking the bottom. I definitely do need to go in and fix that nose up. That's definitely gonna have to happen. But let me go ahead and just kind of continue off these like blocky teeth real quick. And that's just gonna be the mask. It's not gonna be like his teeth. Although that would be kind of funny. Let's see. Oh yeah, these teeth are looking good. Let's see. Yeah, the teeth are looking good. Okay, so I'm happy with that. But I think we do need to fix up this nose. So let's see. We need a hard eraser. We need to fix it because I feel like it's taking away. So let's see. Okay. Because if I do it this way, I think it fixes up most of it. I guess I could kind of do like one of my other noses. I might keep it like this. Because it kind of makes it look a little better. Let's see. Alright, cool. Yeah, looking better. And then we'll go to some of these darker areas. Let's see. I know my calibration's off a little bit, but I think that kind of does it. There we go. I still feel like this chin is off too. I'm like looking at it right now. I don't know how I didn't catch it when I was putting in the flats. Or maybe I did, because I haven't, the last time my live stream was a while back. So let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to erase that thing too, because I think it's in the way. Yeah, so let's erase this guy too. Because it's supposed to be the lips. It's supposed to be making a big old mouth. So let's fix that up. And if I just leave it simple, I think we get more out of it. Yeah, I think we get more out of it by just keeping it simple. Let's do it like this. Yeah, looks better. Alright, and then we'll go back to that purple color. We'll use it for our deeper shadows. Deeper shadows might be in like the teeth over here. Might be up there. Might be under the mask. Okay. I think we're looking good here on the mask. I think we are. So let's see. Yeah, I think that'll be kind of cool. And then when we go in with the lighter side, I think it'll fix itself out. So let's check, see what we've got. We'll put a little bit of lighting over here on the bridge of the nose. Put a little bit over here. We're gonna have a spot right about here. We'll definitely put some here on the lips of this mask. And then we'll do a little bit of a trim right on this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, do what we've been doing. Just kind of put in a little bit of an airbrush right over this. Just for the middle sections. And I really should have just kind of kept it as the lasso tool. So, I mean, if this doesn't work, that's probably what I'm going to go back to. Okay. And then we've been blurring the edges, so let's go back and do that. Alright, looking alright. Blur that whole area. Blur it over there. Alright, we're looking pretty good. We're not too bad here. Got about an hour left on this stream, give or take. And then hopefully this guy will be done. If he's not done, I'm gonna have to find some time to knock him out, right? Find some time not to knock him out, but to finish him up, right? Alright, let's see. So just kind of soften that up, because it could be a little too much. And let's see, do I want to blend? If I blend, it'll really fade in, but it's not a super reflective area. And then we still haven't decided if we're keeping the gold or if we're gonna push to silver. So that's the other thing I gotta think about as we're pushing this along. But yeah, thinking I might just push this way. Using that smudge brush, or I guess in my case with Clip Studio it's a finger tip brush. So kind of like that. It looks pretty good. I don't think that'll do it. I think I gotta real legit blend it to that area. Because I don't think the blur is gonna do it necessarily unless we just, yeah, there we go. So if we push it harder, I guess it'll kind of go. And then I'll blur these guys back out. So we're blending them downward, or blurring them downward. So we'll kind of see what we got at the end of this. Should be alright. Yeah, I'm thinking he's looking pretty good. Not 100% done, but we're looking really good. I'm thinking we'll definitely do that little bit of white. Because this is following, I guess this would be following the contour of this mask. There we go. Blend in these white lines. That's my highlight 2 layer. I don't know if I want to put just a little bit more white on the lips. Likewise, I don't know if I want to just put some extra white in the center of these, just to kind of give it a little bit more. There we go. And hopefully it's looking alright. I think like that, it's darkening up, it's making it look a little bit better. I'm liking it. And then we still got to go in, do the face, the metal, and I'm hoping the metal won't take forever. But let's see. Let's go like this. This is how I do my ears on this side. Let's see. And then we've got to consider this mask is casting a shadow too, so let's kind of push that out. There we go. Let's see. And then we'll go for purple. Kind of darken that side up. I think we can kind of leave part of that ear light. I'll probably go back in and soft erase parts of it so that at least the skin tone kind of comes through. There we go. Yeah. And then if I can go back, grab that soft eraser. I may have pushed it too hard. Let's see. There we go. Just let a little bit of that skin show, because then we can say, okay, so some of the light's kind of hitting from a certain spot, and we'll be pretty good, I think. So I'm actually excited. So that one looks pretty good. We'll go back into it again. We don't need to do highlights or anything that I can think of, although possibly put in for a rim light on this ear now that we've erased part of it. Same thing for this hair. There we go. And potentially, even in the shadow, some light can shine through, right? There we go. There we go. I think I'm just going to keep it on that side for the most part. I don't know if I do it like that. Yeah, this is looking alright. Okay, so I won't push it that much. Going back into the face, so this is where we're going to have to probably use the lasso. So let's use this lasso. Excuse me. There we go. Get some of these eyelids. Get in the eyes. I know I'm doing it up towards the tops, but I think we kind of come up with a cool like skin texture, I think. Because normally you got like the indents in your head. So I'm wondering if I could do something here with that. I don't know if I'd have to like really erase it super softly. If that's the case, I think this would make some sense. Let's not do that. Let's go back to that blur and see if we can do something with it. Because I can't imagine it being super dark on his face. Because I don't think this is what I'm aiming for. I think we're close to it, but we're not there yet. Go back through my history and go back to that fill button. Because it looks like I'm missing something in here. Okay, so that's what I was missing on that side. I'm probably missing it on that side. Yep. So let's see. So that's the shadow. First layer shadow. So let's see if we can do something to it, because the blend's not going to work. I still have faith in this blur tool. Again, it's probably because I'm too close. I'm too zoomed. But I can't see if it really looks good or not. Oops. There we go. Then we'll come back into this blur. It looks like I put the wrong color in there. Let's see, is this better? Or did I make things worse? I think we're pretty good. From a distance it looks alright, so I think we did what we needed to do. Okay, still second layer of shadows. So let's see if we can do something similar without going overboard. Forgot to hold the shift button. There we go. Is that what we want? I think so. I think it's kind of looking alright. Still need maybe something over here. Just toying around with an idea. Kind of liking it like that. I don't know why. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do it again and recreate it on the bottom, maybe? See if we can recreate it on the bottom and see if we like it. It does kind of give him like that villain vibe, which could also play off on that the fact that he's a hero but looks like a villain. People are scared of him or don't know how to interpret him. Okay. So what happens if we end up blending this together? Does that look better? Or does that look worse? Let's see if I blend it outward. really kind of liking this. I think it's gonna do pretty well. I think this will be pretty good. But I need to get it up here to this forehead too. So let's kind of push this in here. Fill it. We'll do the two things that we've been doing. We'll blur it first. Or at least blur out the edges. And then we'll go back in with the blending brush and then start blending it upward, outward, and downward all at the same time. Just circles. There we go. Okay, I think we're finally getting the skin somewhat interesting, right? And then I don't know, I feel like we gotta lighten it up a bit, but I don't know if the soft eraser is the way to go. But if I do it, I need to avoid a couple things. I need to avoid the eyes when I do it. Hey, welcome back, King Bob. Welcome back. Just rendering out the face for this character. Let's see. So I kind of do it like this. So this way I can kind of avoid messing around with the eyes on this. Make them a little bit darker. It'll look alright, I think. Hey, thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to mess around with a different rendering style for the face. Because this character is going to be a hero, but he's going to look more like a supervillain, which confuses everybody that's around him. I think it'll make for a comedic piece to like the S-Verse Chronicles storylines and things like that. So I think it'll be kind of fun. So we're going to make sure we get into this. And I think it's just going to be a little bit of a soft erase, but we'll see what it looks like. Because that side's going to be a little bit lighter than that side. But we might have to mess around a little bit with some of this blending. You want to be in my class so bad? I appreciate that. Thank you. I hear it a lot from the kiddos. I really do. And I enjoy it. It's not bad. Let's see. Yeah, and I don't mind. I wouldn't mind. I don't get choices in who I get as my students or anything like that. It's kind of like just a lottery pick. That's really all it is. Thinking he's looking alright. Again, I don't know what it is about him. It's throwing me off because I need him to be somewhat lighter on that side. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. But if I keep him like this, I think I'm going to definitely have to fix up this ear on this side and push in a little bit more color into it. So what I might do is just kind of airbrush in here a little bit. And then softly erase the top portion. And that kind of matches up with the skin tone there, I think. We'll have to do the same thing with the other hands when we get there. Ah, of course, yes. Yes, I remember you. You hang out with my kid Gia. Absolutely. And we could always hang out playing kickball or whatever. Or I don't even know what we did, but absolutely. Come join us. Alright, I'm going to go back into this side one more time. Not try to overwork it, but if I can make it just a little bit lighter, then I think I'll be happy. I think. That's too much, isn't it? Yep, it's too much. I'll have to go into it like this. Alright, so put the eraser in. Let's see. I think that's gonna do it on there. Alright, I think he's okay. Again, he's like a superhero, but he's gonna be more on the villain side. Like he's gonna look more villainish. But I'm okay with it. I'm going to give him some whites in his eyes. Preferably on that side where the light source is coming from. So we'll kind of do them like this. Appreciate it. I'm nowhere near that level. Definitely nowhere near that level. But I do end up, I do know, at least with him, it was like his whole thing about happy little mistakes. It's kind of like how I ended up trying to learn certain things, especially when I'm rendering. That's where a lot of it comes in to play, I think. Let's see. Let's blur that up a little bit. Just digitally? Yeah, Bob Ross just digital. Ha. It's actually kind of funny. I accept your compliments. Appreciate it. There we go. And just kind of pop back this way. There we go. So, head's looking all right. Let's see. Be an artist instead of a 5th grade teacher? Yeah. I do plan on studying to become an art teacher, but I got to get certified in the state of North Carolina. So it just involves taking a test, answering some questions. But the things that I don't know are vocabulary related and architecture. Everything else I feel like I'm all right with. But let's see, Melania, if you can, I need a suggestion here. I was thinking about turning these little gold spiky bits into silver just to give it a little contrast. What do you think I should do? Should I turn these little dudes, and I think I gotta get off this layer, but should I turn that to silver so I can have some silver and gold blended in there? Or should I turn that to silver, that to silver, and that to silver? What do you think? And I think while you're thinking about that, I will go ahead and go a little bit lower and render him a little bit underneath. You think you should do the silver? Okay, that's what I was thinking about. In the last stream, we were indecisive about the gold and the silver. I don't mind the gold being part of his main, like, chest plate of sorts. What I might have to do is actually play around with putting something behind him, or I'd have to cover up this part of his like trapezius muscles and his neck so that we can see that this armored plate actually does fit him, but I didn't think about that when I was going for it. So yeah. But yeah, let's play around with that silver. Let's see. Usually I go blue for silver. It's in here somewhere, I'm sure. Is he a villain or a hero? He's actually a hero. However, he looks like a super villain. And he's supposed to be there. Like, his whole deal is, besides the fact that he has the ability to manipulate metals, like he can bend metal, his thing is that people keep confusing him for a super villain, and that gets him into like some weird scenarios. So I thought that might be a little bit funny. And that's why I was kind of making him a little bit darker and whatever in the face, because I was like, I really want him to have the villain vibe, and just kind of mess around with it a bit. It's just an idea I was like messing around with. Yeah, because when I render this out, this is just going to be the base. I'm thinking I need to go darker to make it silver. We'll see around. We'll kind of mess with it. Because, and I think it's still on here. So last time I kind of showed this. Was it in my sketches? I don't know if it's in the sketch layer. I don't see it in the sketch layer. Metal, there it is. This is my metal practice right over here. So I went for a darker tone and then started swirling around some of the lighter pieces. So that's what I'm going to try to aim for here. And I might actually just steal this. Yeah, I'll steal this. This color right here. It'll look better when it's rendered out. I'll try to make it look shiny. Favorite student in my class? I don't think I'll tell you. I do have a lot of really great kids, though. I do have a lot of favors for certain things. You know what I mean? Like, there are kids that, you know, academically are amazing, great students, right? There are kids that aren't so great at being a student, but just generally awesome kid all the way around. So I got a lot of favorites when it comes to that, if we put it in those terms. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the same thing here, I think. Yeah, Gia's pretty awesome. Really good kid. Let's see. I don't know if and I know that's gonna be all shiny stuff. I think I'm liking that. What's gonna become silver. I think I kind of like this area that's about to become silver. Or should I have left it gold for the arms? I don't know. It's one of those things where I get to mess around with, so it's not too bad, but it does make them even darker when I do it like this. Oh yeah, she's a nice friend, absolutely. I've never heard anyone complain about her. I don't see a reason to, you know? Let's see. You know what? I think I'll go back. Not that far back. Let's go this far back. Do I like that? Or did I like this? It's hard to tell because I haven't rendered the silver yet, so. Let's keep it like this, and then I can fill in this stuff back here. Question is, did I color that in? Yes, I did. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do is erase everything inside of this. Oh, no. I'm going to have to erase this because it wasn't my thought at the beginning, but I'm going to have to do it anyways just because with that other... Ooh, wrong layer again. When I render out the metal, I need it to be all together, and I for some reason put all of my metal color, like this gold, on the same layer, so I can't do that. So we gotta clear this off and redo. Let's see. And I don't think I have to mess around with the little floating bits as much. So at least there's that. Let's see, I've got about 20 minutes remaining for myself because I do got some errands to run at about 2. So I want to make sure all of this at least gives me a start. I might have to make a part 3 to this stream. I might have to. Can't do it next week because I've got the teachers are all painting their like parking spaces and stuff, which is kind of cool. So I get to do that. So I get to mess around with exterior paint. And later on in this channel, I'll eventually end up doing some water paint, maybe some acrylic paint, because I've got all this stuff here. And I used to teach it when I was doing my Outschool Art Club stuff. So I figure, why not? You know? So let's see. Still got a lot of gold. Alright. And if it's far away enough, I can just cover it up like this. There we go. Alright, so all of that is the way it is. We'll save that before I forget. And I'm going to have to make it its own unique layer. So, metal sword, we'll just convert that to silver. And I'm thinking. We might have to convert this part to gold. Making it a little bit bigger. It was a little bit darker before. Maybe I gotta make it darker. There we go. Chili is good. Chili is good. I did snack on some mac and cheese earlier. Wasn't really much of a meal, but it was all right. It's not as good as chili. Chili mac and cheese could be really good though. Let's see, and I'll kind of let this blend into that silver, or what will be silver. I know it's not silver yet. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a little extra color boost. Because I'm going to end up doing a gradient with it. I don't know where else the other gold bits are going to come from, but that's what I've got for right now. Okay. So let me save this one more time. Yeah? Is he bald too? Got a big scruffy beard. make this one color 2. Alright, so for this one, we're going to have to go all the way across this entire thing. Actually, I don't even know, is anything closed off in this? The answer is yes. Okay, so if I do this... Oh, we're making life easy. Oops, not there. Because I just need a base for this, and then I can kind of go over most of it. We'll do the same thing with these little dudes. Some of these pieces keep going outside the lines. That's okay. Just hair on the chin. Let's see. Do I have the ones up top? If I do... Oh, no, I don't. I was going to say I could stretch it out. Ooh, I colored outside the lines. There we go. It's annoying when it goes out of the lines, right? When you use your selection tool and you're like, I'm pretty sure the lines are closed. But hey, no worries. Easy fixes, right? Let's see, color that. I was just gonna make everything grow, like expand the pixels to make my life easy. This whole thing is really because I made a complicated shape and I forgot to color it all the way through. I was contemplating on making adjustments, but I really should have really thought it all the way through, but I didn't. Could have made it easier on myself. And with that, and because I use a gray background, it throws me off. So I don't even know what I've got where. So I really got, ooh, I don't know what I just did. What did I just do? I moved that thing. That's what happened. Let's see, if I could just fill this in, can I at least, ew, that's so gross. Just to see if I missed anything in here. So there we go. Hard eraser. There you go. Let's see, I think I could use the lasso tool for the rest of it. We got most of it colored up. I was just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so we missed these guys. Floating liquid thing. Wrong layer. Digital artist problem. What layer are you on? I don't know. What's easier, being a student or being a teacher? Being a student's pretty easy, I think, for the most part. Even with all the work, and I know it's hard to see it now, but when you get to middle school, you'll have a lot more work and a lot more classes, a lot more transitions. Trying to get to know more personalities, right? But I think being a teacher, just because you got a few restrictions that you've got to follow, like testing is one of them, right? Not every teacher believes in testing, but it's something we got to do. Keeping behaviors, being responsible for 30 plus students in a room, things like that. Because they're under your protection, they're under your watch, So it's a little bit more to deal with. But I usually don't have too many issues. Most of my kids don't either. So let's see, I think I'm gonna have to make a new gradient. I'll make it a sphere. So that's how I kind of do this. Sometimes the strict teachers are really the best ones. That's what I found in my in my journey as a student and as a teacher. Those are the ones that really care about you. They're the ones that want you to succeed. They have high expectations because they know you can achieve it. So yeah, it might seem like that now, but I promise you it'll look a little different a few years from now when you're like, that teacher really totally had my back. It's one of those. Let's see. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. Here we go. There you go. Oh, no, not you. Where's the bucket? There's the bucket. And my gradient. Okay, so I definitely want some sort of transition. It might seem not fun. It might seem that way. But it's also personalities, right? You'll eventually have a job one day. You'll have to figure out how to deal with numerous people. Same thing for like group activities. Let's see. I need to find a way to transition between this gold into this one into, it's too dark, right? Into another silver. Be the nicest? Yeah, but it kind of depends, right? Because I know I've had teachers in the past that were really nice, and sometimes the students would walk all over them, which is never a good thing, right? But it's also a profession, so it's one of those remain professional types of whoa, geez. One of those remain professional types of things that you'd have to go through. But I promise, like, it's all a game, really, when you figure it all out. If you can figure out what makes your teacher tick, for the most part, like, how to get on their good side, what are they expecting, things kind of show out to be easier, I think. Easier to get along with, and then you're like, oh, okay, so this is why they've been like this. I keep doing that. I keep going too far to my left. There we go. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. I just made this gradient. I'm thinking the shiny bits are on that side. That's like a cool little thing. Let's see. I might have to adjust the amount of gold, so I'm going to have to shove this one back a little bit. Because I don't know where I want that gold to, like, really drop. It's got, I don't know, it's got something to it that I'm like, you want to be a veterinarian? That's a pretty cool gig. I had a friend that, her name was Renee, that wanted to do something very similar. I think I know she was a technician, I believe, back in New York, but I don't know if she still does it. I've lost contact with a lot of my buddies that I used to go to school with. Actually, that one's not terrible. I think we need lighter color in here somewhere. But I also like animals, so I think it's, you know, animals are great. I'm only allergic to just like cats, from my understanding. Let's see. I wonder if I could take one of these guys. Let's see if we could do this again. To lose your friends? Oh no, it's you lose contact with friends after a while when you get older. Um, but it's part of life, right? And then, you know, I also moved away, so I think that was part of it as well. Trying to get it. I don't know if I'm better off turning this into a gradient that works like linearly. Well, this is purple, but that's kind of what I'm aiming for, but I may have too many colors in the mix. Or I just gotta move the order. See if this one works. Are we almost where we want to be with this? I know we're going to get there. I just don't know when I'm going to get there. Let's see. Yeah, keep them close. No, I agree. That's one of the things I think I regret as an adult was losing contact with a lot of my friends that I grew up with. Especially the ones that I made in high school. Let's see. Just tweaking this until we figure it out. I think that'll work out for right now, kind of like that, because I'll mess around with a few sections, I think. Because I was trying to do it as a whole, but I'm wondering if I don't do it as a whole, oh, I don't even know why everything else is in there. There we go. I put some purple in there. If I leave it as a whole, I'm wondering if it's not going to do what I need it to do. So let's see if we can quickly, because I've only got like 5 minutes. Let's see if we can figure this out before I go. Because I want this to transition yellow to silver. So let's see if we can do it this way. When will I end the live? I'm going to end it around 2 because I got some errands to run. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like this. I think I'm going to put it back to what it was. I think this is easier to work with. But yeah, so I didn't get the chance to like really dive into this one yet. But I think that'll have to do on this side, I think. Because I'm still contemplating on keeping the golds and the gold areas, but we'll kind of play around. We'll play around. I still got a few. So let's check. So for this one, I would end up creating a multiply layer. And it would be something that more or less mimics, because metal's reflective, so when I make it, I have to make it so that it reflects off the stuff underneath it, for the most part. But let's see what we got here. I don't even know why I set that up to a multiply layer, I'm gonna be honest. Let's leave that normal. Because the multiply layer will come after. Put in some whites. So this will kind of give me an idea of where some of my highlight stuff are and where some of the silver comes in. Kind of like they're like melted together. So let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna be ending soon. I think I got like a minute on my side, but I do want to just put some of this in here so I know for next time, like this is kind of where I'm gonna kind of begin. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna end up doing here is kind of what I did before, but I'm just gonna like blur it all together so it mixes up a little bit better. And I think there we have it. I think this is where we're gonna stop it. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you hanging out for a little bit. I think he's mostly done. We're kind of getting there. I do have a blue light source, which is what I've been using for like the neck, the arms, the legs, the face. And so I'll end up, as when I'm rendering in this metal, is to put in some of that blue as well, because it's supposed to be really reflective. So I'm excited with the way that he's coming out. I'm hoping to either finish him off stream or on a new stream at a different point in time on a Saturday. I just know I can't do it next Saturday. I just need to get him done before his video comes out. Sometime around, I think his video comes out around December is what I'm thinking. Because I know, yeah, it's either that or sometime in November. I'm not entirely sure. I've got it all planned out. I just have to double check. But I hope you enjoy your 3-day weekend. Hopefully it's off to a great start. And I'll see you again next time. You guys take care. Bye.